great cricket, tournaments as well. So it's really, really a fantastic opportunity.
I agree. So action will continue at the T20 World T20 Africa A qualifier. That's what is being played right here in Lagos, Nigeria. Tomorrow will be rest day. So these guys will just, have a time off, talk about the matches, but they will be back on Friday. And on Friday, Ghana will take on Sierra Leone, while Nigeria will take on the Gambia. And on Saturday, we're going to wrap up everything with Sierra Leone taking on the Gambia, while Nigeria again will go against Ghana. That one will be played at about 2 p.m. So if you have some time, let's go see some cricket in Nigeria. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's get on with the show now, from cricket to badminton. I keep telling you that it's an action-packed auto sports. The Nigeria Badminton Federation, they had their Congress, they met, they talked about ways to, take badminton to the next level. And part of it, Joseph, they've been talking about it, that they need to have coaches, not just coaches, qualified coaches. And today they unveiled some of the coaches. I'll just tell you some of the things that are written in the communique that has been issued after the BFM board meeting. The board of the Nigeria Badminton Federation considered and ratified the recommendations of the panel of interviewers set up to conduct examination and interview for national team coaches and reviewed by the technical subcommittee. So they made it open. If you have the quality, apply, come forward, let's see you. And then at the end of it all, the board approved the appointment of the following persons as coaches for the national teams. So know your national badminton team coaches. Benjamin Orakpo is the national head coach, the senior team for Nigeria, the badminton team. George Shita is the national assistant coach. Susan Agbola will also double as assistant coach. For the junior team, Sulaiman Tajuddin is the national head coach. Ismaila Mohammed, who is the assistant, and Maria Omonehim will also assist at the junior level. This is so good because, Joseph, it was open, everyone saw it, and it's transparent. That's the word. And now the BFN, they are beginning to see that it goes beyond just giving attention to players. The coaches must also be qualified.
You cannot grow a sport in isolation. You have to make sure that the coaches as well has to grow with the players. The necessary technical input, has to be introduced, because sports has gone beyond, the normal, let's just play the way we used to. There is need to lay a very solid foundation. As you are getting the players at a very young age, you must make sure that they are exposed to the, the most modern coaching technique. Yeah. So when you mentioned the coaches, I said to myself, some of them might even need to go out for refresher courses. Because there is sports science, there is a lot of technology involved in it. I hope these coaches, their CVs have been looked at critically. Yeah. If they haven't been, they need to go for courses abroad. Because when you don't expose those lads at a young age to the most current, coaching technique, and they go out and they meet those, their opponents that have been exposed to it, what will happen is that they will be bashed. Just in case you don't know, for some players that they know their individual coaches are better than you, they won't even listen to you. Absolutely. That's why it's very important that national team coaches must know current trends in the game. Absolutely. And I love the swiftness of the appointment, and it shows that indeed they have a well-defined purpose on their
So that's it. That's not just what happened at the board meeting of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria. The board also approved the country's bid for the hosting right for the 2019 Africa Senior Badminton Championship. We keep saying it. It goes beyond winning. Let's start, because if cricket didn't get the right to host the T20 qualifier,
and wrestling,
they will not have that ground ready. Wrestling, the same thing, hosted the African Wrestling Championship, and then we saw need to, give infrastructure some listening. And the BFN, they've said, our Ministry for Youth and Sports support this bid. We want to bid for it so that we bring the best of badminton players to this country, so that we give attention to infrastructure. We know logistics, understand international best practices, so that we can be counted.
One of the benefits of hosting is that you bring teams to your country. We've had issues in the past of going outside the country to play tournaments because of lack of funds. Now we are bidding to host. And if you are able to host, there won't be issues like that. And I just hope that, if possible, if they can approach any state government, we saw what happened with wrestling, and the River State government was very, very generous. I mean, it will go a long way if they can do that. But in the event that that doesn't happen, we know the ministry is cash-strapped these days. You know, it's going to be very tough.
What they are saying,
but for the development of sports, it's important to begin to look at the possibility, necessary assistance to be able, because it will also have their infrastructural leap there that is there as well.
That's right.
You know, facilities that we ordinarily wouldn't have provided because we are hosting, we would, and we need those facilities to develop the sports.
Good plans coming from the Badminton Federation of Nigeria. So it's over to the Ministry for Youth and Sports. You've read it on TV. I'm sure they must have dropped their report. So now the ministry is supposed to call for a meeting and say, okay, what can we do? Where can we plug? Where are the areas that we need to fine-tune so that when we go and submit this bid, Nigeria will win, because we need, it's all about taking sports from one level to the other. We're watching. Big ups to the Nigeria Badminton Federation. Let's talk about football now. That's the one that is loved and followed so much in the country. The Nigeria Football Federation Executive Committee, they also had their meeting today, and a communique came out of it. They are talking about a whole lot of things. First, they are expressing their gratitude to the president for, you know, supporting football, giving all the necessary support for the Super Eagles to get to where they are at the moment. And of course, Joseph, the NFF approved 200 million naira for domestic league football. I don't think that's very important. Absolutely,
especially for the female football as well. They're having all financial issues. This will go a long way in boosting, you know, female football. We have all financial issues in our football. I do believe that right now we really need to look deeply on how to develop our local league, because the way it is, the inability to really grow at a certain level is affecting our continental outing. We should look beyond the money aspect, you know, where we need to bring in, you know, coaching, or probably get a coaching course. We should also look at, explore that opportunity, because it's almost as if we are not doing well in the league. It's very, very obvious. You know, we look at the way our teams are crashing out of the continent. But there's a noble effort. I love the fact they are looking at it, and but they should also look at other areas, not just the financial areas, in improving our league.
A lot of talks went down. The NFF, they expressed satisfaction at how the Super Eagles are getting ready for the World Cup. They also talked about the ITO Cup, the one that interests us a lot, about grassroots football. The Executive Committee approved an offer from the Qatar Football Association for Nigerians under 13 and under 15 that they should come to Qatar for 1 week to develop in grassroots football. Sports Tonight on Channels TV. Let's go on this break. When we come back, the CAF Confederation Cup. Don't go anywhere. Stay.